Welcome to Midlife Masters, the podcast where we help you rediscover your spark and thrive in life's second chapter. I'm your host, Anthony, and I am in midlife. I'm also in what some would call a spiritual awakening. Yeah, that's been really fun. It's caused a lot of emotional swings of sadness, anger, loneliness, resentment, and also feeling a little bit helpless and hopeless. I'm here to help you navigate through these wonderful feelings and mood swings. Each episode will uncover real stories, science-backed strategies, and heartfelt wisdom to guide you back to your passions, your values, and your authentic self. Whether you're longing to reconnect with your dreams, deepen your relationships, or find more meaning in your career and everyday life, you're in the right place. This is your invitation to remember who you are and create a future that lights you up. If you're ready to move from feeling lost to truly living, your journey of rediscovery begins now. Want more? Subscribe or like to Midlife Masters and join us on YouTube. Hello and welcome to Midlife. Are you 35 or above? I know middle life is kind of like 40 and above, but it seems like earlier and earlier people feel like they're getting old. I have a cousin. She just turned 30, and she said to me, "Oh, I'm getting old." Are you kidding me right now? She has one kid and she has one in the oven, and she plans on having 3 more, but she thinks she's getting old. So anyway, in my opinion, she's nowhere near midlife. But if you're headed there, or if you're in there and you're thinking, I'm getting old, or I'm missing out on something, or is this the right career for me? Is this the right relationship for me? Is my marriage going to last, or is it working, or is this the one I want to spend the rest of my life with? Then maybe listen and see what kinds of things you can come up with that help you discover how lovely, how wonderful, and how much midlife is kind of like a new chapter for new explorations, new discoveries, new blossoming. Welcome to episode 127, and we're shifting gears a little bit, keeping in mind who the general audience is, and hoping that even though you may not be the typical audience, you hear something that still resonates, because maybe if you're not near midlife, you will be, and you can take some notes, and you can think about what might come or what might happen. If you're 10 years away, who knows where the world will be or how the world will be in 10 years, but still there may be things that kind of click, kind of make you feel like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. And that's the purpose of this podcast. Little seeds that help you think, oh wow, I never thought of that, or I didn't look at it that way. And hopefully that helps you feel lighter and brighter and more in alignment with how you really want to feel. Honest, open, authentic. So midlife tends to come with questioning. What am I doing? Where am I going? Is this right? Am I doing something wrong? Maybe things start to feel a little out of balance. Underlying fears may come up. I'm getting old. And then what's associated with that? I can't do, or I may not be able to do certain things. I may not be able to go certain places. I may have certain illnesses. I may find it harder to find work or get a job. I may feel like I don't want to stay in this relationship. So when you think about those things, and most people consider them fearful or scary. And I don't know where they came up with the term midlife crisis, but I like to think of it as a celebration. So I've been through midlife, and it's probably the best time of my life because I understand myself, I understand the world, I understand other people, my emotions are in check. I don't have a lot of the stuff that was going on when I was in my 20s, my 30s. So all of the things that caused me to feel lonely and sad and abandoned and angry and made me want to go out and drink every night and have parties and stay in clubs and just do things that distracted me and took my mind off of things. Why am I not dating? Why am I single? Why doesn't anyone want me? All of those things, eating late, drinking, gaining weight, getting angry, losing weight, being happy, gaining weight. Oh, I got to get back to the gym. Oh, I really want that slice of pizza. Emotional roller coaster rides most of my life. And then all of a sudden, a moment. Wow, what's going on? What's happening to me? What am I doing with my life? Is this all there is to life? What can I change? How can I change? What can I add? What can I remove? All of those things come up. And for various people, it comes at various times. You may be 30 and thinking this, or you may be 60 and thinking this, or you could be somewhere above or below that, or somewhere in between. But at some point, I think we start to question who we are, where we are, and where we're going. And of course, that involves other people in a lot of cases. If we have a marriage, if we have children, or if we've been single for a long time, we question that. Or if we're not married, but we're in a long-term relationship, we may question that. We may question our job, our parents, our families. How have our relationships been? Is it time to end some of those relationships? Is it time to repair some of those relationships? So these are all things that start to come up at certain points in our life. It may be what we consider midlife. It may not. But here's one of the things that, or I should say, some of the things that I have done. I'm usually a writer, so I will write things down. I used to write a lot more than I do now because I felt like writing got a lot of the loneliness and the sadness out and onto paper. So I wrote a lot of poetry in my earlier years, I would say 20s and 30s. And most of that was kind of sad, but then ended with something enlightening or something joyful. But since I no longer feel the same feelings of loneliness or sadness or abandonment, I don't really have the need to write poetry. So I will just take some notes on things and say, this is what I'm thinking, or this is what I'm feeling, and then kind of look back on it and say, oh, wow, 2 years ago I felt this way and now I'm not there. 2 years ago or a year ago, I felt like abandoned, or I felt lonely, or I really got upset when this person decided they didn't want me in their life. And now it's more like, I understand. Everyone doesn't stay in your life forever, and that's okay. It's easier for me now to walk away. It's easier for me to understand them because I understand myself. So it took years for me to figure out what I wanted, why I wanted it, how to get it, and then some of the underlying reasons as to why I wanted the things that I wanted, or why I wanted to do the things I wanted to do, or go the places that I wanted to go. So unlike a lot of other people in my family and my friends group, I've traveled quite a bit to other places in the United States, as well as about 14 other countries. So I know a lot about other cultures. I like meeting people. I've done couch surfing. I just like being connected with people. And I think when I was younger, in my 20s and my 30s, I thought being connected with someone, even if it was just having casual sex, was something that was very satisfying, very fulfilling, until it wasn't. So that hour or that 90 minutes or that 2 hours, maybe even overnight, was really great until it ended. And then I felt the same way that I did prior to them arriving. And in a lot of those cases, those things or those relationships, situationships didn't last. So yeah, hey, maybe it was one night, maybe it was 1 hour. But in a lot of cases, I never saw those people again. So friends that drifted away, people that I slept with that drifted away, always kind of left me feeling I'm alone, I'm abandoned, I'm not worthy, people don't like me, people don't love me, people don't want me. You know, if you've been through that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for a lot of us, it takes time to get to the place where we're actually comfortable and we're okay and we don't need people. And when we get to that place, it's very refreshing to meet people that we actually want to be with, and we understand, we sense, and we feel that those people actually want to be with us. So those are the kinds of things that happen in midlife. You discover who you really are. You discover what you really want. And you also understand what you don't want and why. And that is a beautiful thing, my friends. It's not a midlife crisis. It's more like a midlife understanding, a midlife unfolding, a midlife exploration. So instead of ending everything and dropping everything and questioning everything, think about how you can make things better. How can you make things more fulfilling? How can you make things more satisfying, right? If you're in a job, how can you make that job more satisfying and fulfilling? Are there things that you can do in that job or in that company to make it so that when you get up to go there, you're actually pretty excited? What can you do about your relationship? What can you do about your marriage? If there are things that you have not said and you want to say, it's time to say them. If there are things that you want to do and have not done, it's time to do them. And many people that are much, much younger, in their 20s, in their teens in a lot of cases, start on this journey very early. I know plenty of people that left home at 16, 18, 20, and just started the adventure of a lifetime. And when you meet a lot of younger people, like I've done through couch surfing, you see that people aren't so attached to their homes and their families and the constant need to do the same thing over and over. They leave home at 16 and they travel the world for a year or two. They see places that many people will never see in a lifetime. They understand people, they understand cultures, they're open, they're accepting, and they embrace people for who they are and where they are. That's a really important step to take in life. So if you're reaching midlife and you haven't done something like this, I encourage you to maybe let that be one of the first things that you do. And if you can't get out of the country, just get out of the town, get out of the state, go someplace you wouldn't normally go, or go someplace that you might consider a little bit challenging. I traveled for the first time out of the country. I couldn't speak the language. I lost my bag. I was a complete mess. And I actually thought, wow, you're really an idiot for doing all of this alone and thinking that it was going to be easy and fun. So what happens when you travel all day, all night, you get to a country where you don't speak the language and you lose your bag that has almost everything in it that's important to you, like your laptop and your camera and your journal? Well, you go to a local hotel because you assume that someone at a hotel speaks English, especially if it's a Hilton, and you cry, which is exactly what I did. And I remember the lady in Prague saying to me, no, don't cry, don't cry. And in that moment, that's all I could do. But, now I'm looking back and I think, well, that was one of the greatest experiences because I learned a lot. I learned how to travel. I learned to travel much lighter and not carry as many things. I learned to schedule my planes and my trains and my Ubers so that I wasn't exhausted. And if I'm not exhausted, there's less likelihood that I will get off of a bus without my bag or my second bag. I don't even have a second bag at this point. So take a step, do something different, do something exciting, do something challenging, do something that gets you out of your comfort zone. Say the thing that you really want or need at your job. Say the thing that you really want or need or have been holding in for years in your relationship or your marriage. Let your children know that you're there for them. Let your parents know that you're there for them. Do all of the things that are going to lead to love, connection, and fulfillment. If we're angry at people, if we're disconnected from people, if we're constantly fighting and arguing, not speaking, not returning calls, that's not a way to live. That's not a way that feels good. That's not a way that's like heart-centered. And I think in most cases, when we get to middle age or midlife, that's when we start to look at these things and we think, why do I argue with this person? Either like them, love them, accept them, and be with them, or let them go. Cut them off, cut them out, stop communicating, stop seeing them. And if it's a situation where there's bad blood or there's disconnection or there's arguments with people that we feel like we need to stay connected with for whatever reason, maybe it's a parent of one of our children or more than one of our children, and we've gone through a separation, a breakup, a divorce, and we feel the need to stay connected, try and make that connection as loving as possible, as accepting as possible. That'll get rid of all of the hurt and the heartache and the cobwebs and the tension and the stress and the anxiety that just circles around in your body every time you think, oh, I got to call this person. Oh, I got to see this person. So what? We have to be the first one. We have to often be the person that takes the first step. We always want the other person. Why don't they tell me what they want? Why don't they tell me what they need? Why don't they apologize to me? Why can't they accept me? And the whole time, we're the same way. We're not accepting. We're not pleasant. We're not joyful. And if we are, we assume that they won't be, and they're not. But that's a whole nother podcast episode. That's on how we think and how we relate to the world is what we experience. But we'll take that route another time. So friends, if you're in middle age or you're approaching middle age and you're starting to feel like your legs are shaking and you're weak and you're confused and you're lost and what's happening, just take a moment. to sit alone, to sit in silence, and to exhale. Breathe in really deep and then breathe out all of the air and just know it's going to be okay. Make some plans, write some stuff down, figure out what you want to do the things that you love, do the things that bring you joy, do the things that excite you, do the things that you've not done but you've been thinking about. And most certainly, if you're like my cousin and you're only 30, or maybe you're younger, do it now anyway. Don't wait until midlife. Don't wait until something taps you on the shoulder. Don't wait until you're in a place like I was, where chronic pain comes along or diagnosis comes along, and then that makes you think. Because there's no need. You can do that now. You can do that today. You can be perfectly healthy and change everything in your life. Don't wait for something to call on you or force you to make the changes that you've been thinking about for a very long time. All right, friends, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Please do all the things that you would do if you would like to hear more of these types of episodes. Thanks for listening. All right, that's today's episode. Thank you for listening to Midlife Masters. If today's conversation sparked something for you, we'd love to hear about it. Remember, you can subscribe or follow for the latest episodes and connect with me at anthony-johnson.com or at Midlife Masters on YouTube. If you found this episode meaningful, consider sharing it with a friend or leaving a review. It helps others discover the show. If you have a question, send it to me via fan mail located in the show's description, and I'll be sure to answer your question on an upcoming episode. Until next time, master your mind and master your life.